So what do we do now?
Blow it up again.
Okay, that's a bit of a joke because we've done all the story missions, but Mercenaries 2 was lucky enough to get a whole DLC. Ooh, wow, a whole one, and it's called. Would you like to say the name again?
Blow it up again.
Blow it up again. It's
Why don't you?
No, there's none of that. Unfortunately, the DLC is a little bit rough around the edges. The intention of it is that you're going back to Venezuela after you've blown Solano sky high to sort of revisit your old friends.
Blow it up again.
Yes, blow it up again! We get the point! You're like a bloody talking doll. I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh, you're going back to Venezuela, but for some reason you don't keep the PMC, you don't keep any of your cash or stockpiled weapons and armour. All you get to do is go back to this bar that you might recognise from the intro thing, and you're forced to wear the Biker Viking costume, which is frankly disgraceful. And there are 4 missions. There are 4 people here, so you can probably guess the correlation. Right, let's play favourites. Who do you want to go to first?
Well, I'd like to join your game first, but the friends lobby is not listing you as being in any sort of game.
Ah, and here's the rub we haven't mentioned yet. These 4 missions are in fact all single-player missions. What Pandemic decided was a fantastic idea is to create 4 extra missions for people who have no friends in a game whose real strength lies in co-op play. Unfortunately, neither of us actually knew this beforehand because we both assumed Pandemic wouldn't be that stupid. Still, life goes on. So this is how the video's going to work. Originally we were going to do all the missions blind because, hey, why not, they're only throwaway little things, but unfortunately we can't do that now. Therefore, I've been through and recorded me playing them in a sort of vaguely half-arsed manner, and little man is going into this completely blind. For now, we're going to go and talk to Fiona first, since she's obviously the most important one, what with the accent.
Yeah, none of the rest of them have accents, it's quite amazing.
She's the only one. The arms race sounds quite exciting, doesn't it? We get a special car, we have to blow things up. What could possibly be wrong with this?
What the hell? I'll take it.
How excited are you about this one?
Oh, I'm shaking in my bootsies.
That's the most excited you've ever been in your life, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never shaken in my bootsies. I've been jostled around in them and, you know, stirred, but never shaken.
Thanks, James. So,
this music.
The music's terrible, the car is terrible, everything about this is terrible.
Oh, basically, the explosion wasn't that bad.
No, the explosion was okay. But basically all you have to do in this mission is drive around the city destroying these target buildings with a big rocket launcher mounted on top of the car, which I don't know if you've noticed, looks a little bit like a reskinned version of another car. Can you this is a plan.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to have another go at
I like that the screen froze a bit there.
Well, it was important for the dialogue, see, because in a mission like this, you need to know what you've got by the end
it's
of it.
got boost too.
Don't get confused, by the way, this isn't a mini-game, this is a mission, not a mini-game.
I noticed that if you shoot the rocket at anything that isn't a building, it just kind of goes whoop and just nothing.
Yeah, I don't understand. You know the missiles on the Urban Commando, which this car definitely isn't a bad reskin of? They're the same but weaker. So I don't know if they've just like cranked up the damage on the really pathetic rockets or whatever. But that wouldn't be it, because that would imply they'd done a really shoddy job on the DLC, wouldn't it?
Oh, we can't say that.
No, this is already looking like an incredibly promising series of missions.
Yeah. Several missions when you're taken to Venezuela to blow it up again.
Stop it! I suppose I might as well pay lip service while we're driving around to what this car actually does. The idea of the mission is that, for some reason, this magical prototype car has a nuclear reactor inside, and if you go slowly, the nuclear reactor becomes progressively more and more unstable until it blows up. It's a bit like the film Speed, but slightly more ridiculous, if that were possible.
Was John Travolta in Speed? I was going to make a John Travolta joke, but whoa, nice.
I was just showing off at that point. The tank needed to know who was boss. Also,
Yeah.
I can never really tell. Are you being serious asking if John Travolta was in Speed?
I can't remember the movie.
It was the one where Keanu Reeves drove a bus over a magical hole
Oh,
in the motorway.
yeah, I get
Yeah.
the two confused
And
sometimes.
they had to go really fast, otherwise the bus would
No, I remember
explode.
the movie, I don't remember the people in the movie.
That's because they were so instantly forgettable. It was Sandra something or other, what's her face, generic female character. One thing I will credit Pandemic with is this is sort of a cool ruined landscape.
Is this Maracaibo?
No, it's a city they've invented for it. I think it's set on some obscure small island in the middle of nowhere in Venezuela.
An
that we
obscure
never saw
small
before.
island with a city larger than the capital of Venezuela.
Yeah, if you look at the map, it's on a tiny island in the middle of nowhere. But this doesn't look like a tiny island in the middle of nowhere, does it? Also,
No,
I don't know
exactly.
if
You're
you can
gonna
pinpoint,
die.
I don't know if you can pinpoint this, but the moment I crashed into the rock was the moment I realised that I wasn't having fun, and this wouldn't be fun to watch. So
Yeah.
I thought I would attempt to ramp it off the huge building back there.
What's the actual goal here? It seems like you're just in a free roam sandbox environment, blowing up skyscrapers.
Ah,
Or
well,
is
you
this
see,
like a checkpoint thing?
the goal is to make lots of money.
Oh, is there like a set amount you have to earn?
No, you just make as much money as you can. But it's not a mini game. Okay.
Oh, nicely completed.
Thanks. I mean, I also completed it last time when I drove under a tank and got flattened, but you never congratulated me on that.
Oh, that wasn't nicely completed. That was adequately and adequate
Mission
is not enough.
adequately performed.
Yeah. Hey, it's Ava.
It is, and she's looking very nonchalant.
Very nonchalant. Oh, yeah, death race, no big deal.
Hey, do you reckon you could go out and do a death race for
Some
me?
epic
Oh.
off-road racing.
Oh, don't mention that part. That's the bad part.
Yeah, what the
Can't
Matthias
get enough
doesn't
of
look-
that word.
Matthias doesn't look like the kind of man who'd settle for people spouting the word epic at him, would it? But look, it's very epic. Everything's on fire.
Wow, so
Epic.
post-apocalyptic and dystopian. I can't believe.
This is literally exactly what Venezuela looks like, you know.
Step on it. Oh cool, is this a volcano on top of there?
It's a strange sort of Vulcan that seems to fire grenades. I don't like the rockets on the not urban commando Hadron. They're just like a bigger exploding version of the Vulcan.
Spooky.
And unlike the Hadron, which was quite fast and good, the shut up.
Alright, Bob Burnquist.
This is what's a Bob Burnquist?
He's a fucking skateboarder. I keep mentioning it to you, but you always think he's made up or mythical.
I've
He
only got
really
eyes
exists.
for I've only got eyes for skateboarders who've had their own
Whoa.
games. I'm Bob Burnquist.
No, Bob Burnquist was in the game. He wasn't.
Was it
Tony
his
Hawk's
own
skater.
game?
No.
Then I don't care.
Maybe he's an extension of Tony Hawk. What do you know?
Well, like Tony Hawk's like fourth arm. He's just
No, like
possessed
Tony
by
Hawk
Bob
was too much
Burnquist.
skateboarder for one earthly body to handle, and they had to make Bob Burnquist to handle all the skateboard.
So why would you care about Bob Burnquist then if he's just Tony Hawk's runoffs?
Well, he matters just as much because without Bob Burnquist there would be no Tony Hawk.
But without no Tony Hawk, there'd be no Bob Burnquist.
Yeah,
Then-
they're both important.
But Tony Hawk is more.
No.
Tony Hawk is the capital state to Bob Burnquist's useless tiny vassal. That's a strange way to
Yeah, but who has the cooler last name?
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I guess if you like birds or something.
Yeah, if you like fucking birds, you bird pervert. Why don't you just go find a parrot?
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose we'd best talk about death race.
Well, it's a bit self-explanatory. You race, it's a checkpoint race, and there's also death along the road.
Well, the idea is that you try and kill as many VZ soldiers as you can while you drive along,
Nice.
but I don't know if this has been sort of demonstrated in this video or any other, but the controls for driving and shooting at the same time are a little bit bollocks. Unfortunately, there is a camera reset after aiming at things, but it takes practically forever. Therefore, if you attempt to aim at a man next to you while you drive along, you will inevitably end up ramping over a tiny little rock thing, and your friend will take the piss and call you Bob Burnquist.
I'm not taking the piss by calling you Bob. I have to ask though, is this the same tiny island?
I think so, yes. I think this is just in the background.
Jesus, look at that! There's skyscrapers sticking out of cliffs. This is not a tiny island.
It is.
This is like a fucking ancient alien civilization.
This is just like Solano's experimentation island. He wanted to figure out.
Oh, nice job, Burnquist.
I got bored again. I wanted to drive off the cliff. This is it now. This is the end of Death Race. I don't care.
Oh.
That was an unsubtle ending because I didn't want to carry on Death Race because again I wasn't having fun and it was boring to watch.
Wait, you're just fucking changing costumes all over the place.
Well, you see, the DLC actually comes with 3 different costumes for you to wear. You can't actually wear the original costumes, but you can go to the changing room in this bar and become either an old version of Matthias that looks like arse, this skin which is
The Abominator, if I remember correctly.
yes, the Abominator. And there's another one we'll be showing off later, which is a big secret you've presumably already guessed or saw in the thread where someone...
Yeah, like in the second page.
First page, actually.
Nice.
It was a good post at the time. It's just, we didn't.
So, what are you
DLC.
socializing in this mission?
Well, the
Oh,
idea...
that's a gigantic
That is a
stopwatch.
fucking huge clock, isn't it?
Someone call Flavor Flav.
Oh, for God's sake, we can't have Flavor Flav in every video. The idea of this...
Nice music, by the way.
No, it's not. Don't even pretend. This...
I'm rocking out.
The hallmark of the DLC seems to be piss-poor music. Horrible, horrible, noisy noise. Incidentally, that is the subtitle of the entire metal genre. We won't go into that, otherwise we'll start getting hate mail again. The point of this mission, outside of the wonderful music, is you drive, again, this modified Vulcan truck which shoots big Vulcans, and you destroy houses. And when you destroy the houses, money shoots out in a wonderful, great big physics explosion. Can you guess what the main problem with this mission is then?
It's boring.
Well, yes, there's the fact it's boring as well, but there's also the fact that the money shooting out from the buildings is controlled by the physics engine. And can you guess how easy it is to pick up the money you've exploded out of the buildings in this terrible...
As I've seen, it's not very easy because it usually lands on top of other buildings or inside ruins.
Yeah, or inside rocks. But, you know...
That's cool.
It's easy to get the gigantic stopwatches, though, for some reason.
Well, they're gigantic.
My favourite part about the gigantic stopwatches is when you pick up one, it makes the most inexplicable bell noise.
Yeah.
It's just like a church is now celebrating because you picked up a huge clock. You're getting bored of this yet?
The mission, yeah, wow.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a little bit bored.
Wait, did the Abominator just say something? I didn't catch that.
Yes, the great part about the Abominator is what they did is, rather than having him silent or using, presumably, some sort of free clips you could get somewhere, they had someone come into
FreeObamaClips.com.
Yeah, shut up! They got someone to come in and do a really bad impression of Obama, shouting, "Sorry there, mister," whenever he rams something in a car. Yep.
What?
I don't know. Also, I'm finishing the mission here. I didn't care where this was.
Oh, you failed the mission.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down. Oh, it's the other costume.
It's the Sarachuda. I think that's the name.
Yeah, I think it's Saracuda, like Barracuda.
No, Sarachuda.
But mind you would have thought if it was going to be Barracuda, they could have done a slightly better name than the Abominator there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh.
Fucking Abominator. Alright, this is actually the best of the 4 mission, not mini-games that the DLC
best
offers.
just could mean anything here, since we've got a very, low standard.
Yes, the standard is
A very low
basically
stick
now
to climb over.
What's happened is we're obviously back on the ruined island with skyscrapers sticking out of mountains for some reason, and the Allies want to defend this land again for no particular reason. So we have to go around in this specially modified tank and shoot the ever-loving Christ out of
Yeah, I've
a bunch of
noticed
evil Chinese
it's
men.
got a new haircut.
It has. What's happened is they've given it a bigger tank and lots and lots of tow missiles, and also made it quite invincible.
Or those tow missiles on the side? I thought there was like curlers.
No, see what the Allies have got their best men in it, and they've made the tank try to look cute. like a sort of a little girly tank. But when you anger the little girly tank, she raises her hair up and shoots missiles out of her ears.
Yeah, no, that's a good look for a tank.
Yeah, also a quality analogy. I'm proud of that one. Look, it's angry now.
It's flexing.
No, see, what you've done is you've turned the girl tank into a bodybuilder tank. I think I prefer it the other way.
Yeah, well, could you try not letting another one escape?
Shut up! For some reason...
Well, Fiona sounds really weird in this.
What? I think it is the same voice actress, but she completely forgot what accent she was meant to be doing.
Yeah, and she's kind of really angry in this too.
Also, they haven't put the radio filters on her voice now, so she's unnervingly clear. But one of the special things that the eyes have added onto this tank is the ability to, well, also ramp over rubble really weirdly, fire airstrikes just by pointing it at something, which is kind of cool actually. So let's have a look what happens. We get shot by another tank. They're dead!
Oh, that was nice.
It was. I think that's actually just a tank buster, but again, an incredibly powerful version of it. I think the thing that sticks in my throat most about this DLC is all of the cars and weapons and stuff you get in it are incredibly powerful, including the really fast sports car that's heavily armoured. And all that means is that Pandemic knew people would want heavily armoured fast cars in the main game, and they were more than capable of doing it, but they decided not to, because they're fucking bastards. So they made a conscious decision to make all of your cars evaporate in one shot at the end of the game.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. See, I was actually trying to be quite, kind to Pandemic throughout the LP, because I thought it was just... They had good intentions which were marred by poor execution, but this DLC...
The gloves are off.
Well, it's not that, it's just that this DLC has demonstrated they're just fucking idiots. That's all.
Whoa!
That's what tanks do, isn't it?
Well, we don't know, this is an experimental tank.
Ah yes, it's got experimental wheels that make it go into the sky.
Are you taking a Living Fox with you?
No, we're having a small...
Oh, you're getting grease sprayed so the police won't follow you.
I was going to say that, but I decided against it. Thanks for saying it for me.
Yeah.
Can't remember the names of any other GTA protagonists. Angry Italian Man?
CJ Carl, CJ Johnson.
Oh,
Carl.
sorry, I forgot Samuel L. Jackson's game. That's all that matters.
Also,
See,
yeah,
that's
I
all
can't
that matters.
remember
You can't think of anything.
Big Paul.
Big Paul?
Yeah,
It's
Big
something
Paul.
you've made up. Oh,
No.
look out for the gangster Big Paul and his mate Tiny Dave.
Yeah,
Oh,
haven't you
that's-
played his Grand Theft Auto London?
They'll come round and break your fingers off.
Yeah, exactly. It was very gory for that time, and considering all the characters were about 6 pixels tall, the amount of detail we got into the finger scene was incredible.
Listen, it was a very, very well detailed game for its time. Don't you remember just how well the Harry Krishna's bald heads were modelled? They were fantastic in those 2
Yeah,
pixels.
modelled out of pixels.
Oh no, they were modelled in real life. Like they got actual lots of Harry
It's
Krishna.
just lots of sculpting clay.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And they made a
blocky,
number of Harry
square-shaped-
Krishna heads. And then they went through a process of modelling these heads from clay into Lego, and then tried to scale that down in Photoshop into a degree where...
Now I think
their
they
heads-
motion captured all the animations.
Oh no, of course, this was before the clay stage.
Yeah,
They went from
wait,
motion
wait.
capture to claymation. It's a Lego stop motion animation. Down to these really badly made pixel orange blobs.
Oh, I had one of those Lego Studio things as a kid. Those were great. No, I did. Well,
Are there any more tales from Lithuania while we're driving around this city?
well, you can see the landscape. It's just it calls out to me.
What, is this what Lithuania actually looks like?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know there were a lot of old churches around, but I didn't expect it to be quite so ruined.
Well, yeah, we took out the churches obviously because someone would have made a religious statement, but the the infrastructure of it is all there.
Oh right, and they've also modelled all of the real life fires as well. which is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
in-depth.
Actually, hold on. Oh, you can't go back. You just skipped my house there.
your house was the fire. Also, that's some quality rocketing what I've just done.
Yeah, nicely rocketed.
I will admit I kind of enjoyed this in a way, mostly because the tow missiles on this tank were incredible.
Yeah, they seem incredible.
It's just, they kill everything in one shot so long as you actually hit them. I get the feeling that was awesome.
Nice, nice. You ran out of tow missiles.
It's depressing, isn't it?
I guess they don't like people
from small towns.
Yeah, they also got someone to do a really piss-poor impression of Sarah Palin, which I didn't think was quite possible. I thought she was incredibly easy to.
Is it getting Sarah Tudor?
This is actually like real-life recording footage of what Sarah Palin does at weekends.
Wait,
Joke.
the heads-up display said you had 2 rockets in the thing.
Oh no, she died. What a
Aww.
shame. There's a subtle hint about where this video's going.
Oh. Yeah.
Not playing any more of that.
Oh, it's subtle as hell.
Yes, I like to think subtlety is one of my greater qualities. So, that was the Mercenaries 2 DLC. What did you
Nicely
think?
done, Pandemic.
Well, good job.
Yeah, I'd give out 3 thumbs up out of 5 stars.
And I'm going to give it a terrible DLC expulsed from the already rapidly dying body of Pandemic in an attempt to mollify the fairly sizable amount of people disgruntled by the game's underperformance, and groups of fans who felt that the game had been ignored since release that totally failed to do anything other than rub salt into the wound. Out of 5! I feel we kind of ought to explain. This DLC, when it was released, was originally released for free, because I don't know why. And then a couple of months later, Pandemic upped the price to about £1.54p. That's 180 Microsoft
Or,
points.
if you're a Lithuanian, about 750 litas.
All those Lithuanians out there now have context, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And both myself and him managed to miss the boat on getting the free DLC. So this weekend, we both paid £1.50, 180 Microsoft points, or 7.5.
750, yeah, about 748 if you want to be precise.
We always need to be precise. This is real investigative journalism now. And so we both paid for it on the grounds that we thought we'd be having a few more missions to go around and blow things up on. And the trailers and everything actually made it look like it was a fun co-op experience. And it did give us new cars.
It kind of wasn't.
It definitely wasn't. I mean, this has been a fun co-op experience, but it's mostly been
Yeah, I've been
complaining.
holding my controller this whole time.
Have you now?
I've had enough of your disingenuous assertions.
Ah yes, your controller.